welcome to the first hashtag Toe-to-Toe of 2019. Really great to have you on board this week, and as always, I'm joined by Spencer Fearon. Happy New Year,
Happy New Year, sis. I missed you over the festive holiday season, but yeah, we're back.
That's lovely. Joined by a very special guest this week, Mark Prince, or should I say Mark Prince OBE. Congratulations on that in the New Year's Honours list. How does it feel, and how did it feel opening that letter?
It feels fantastic. Opening the letter, I opened it, looked at it, tears just started rolling down my eyes. Because it was massive for me, because people don't realise that it wasn't just the OBE, it was the lead up and everything that's gone on in my life and all the work, all the focus, and then I had this focus about running a campaign, and I was like, how do I go national? To get this campaign to go national. And because I'm a follower of the manufacturer, I asked God to help us, but we were planning things, and then the letter came. So when I got that letter, for me, it was like, thank you, because I knew that this meant that I could take this national and we could get out to more children.
When do you actually get to go to the palace?
February, I'm hoping that it's going to be there, so we've got to look out for the letters or they'll contact us. So I'm looking forward to February.
It's fantastic. Just explain, for those that don't know, a little bit about your foundation.
Yeah, Kiyan Prince Foundation. Obviously, it started on the back of my son, and we're based in Enfield, but we go everywhere, north, south, east and west, and outside London. We basically use the inspiration to inspire young people. We basically train them as well as a support system. And we just want them to focus on a better way instead of focusing on thinking that knife crime is the mindset, or having a negative attitude is a way to get forward, or being violent is a way to handle conflict or any issues. So we come in and educate them about how you become successful. We give them the blueprint, support them and develop them so they can become leaders in their own community.
Foundations like Mark's campaigning against kind of knife crime, it seems more relevant than ever, doesn't it, Spencer?
It is more relevant, but I have to commend Mark. I've known Mark for 30 years now. It's mad, right?
Wow.
You see the grades are coming through? No, you've got the grades there, so I'm planning on that, right? But no, it's Martin Luther King. Yeah, I know you are. Martin Luther King, Cocoa Butter, man, I'm just mad, right? But Martin Luther King said something which is profound, and I attribute this to Mark, where Martin Luther King said, like, everyone has a choice to walk either in creative light of altruism, which means to give, or the darkness, destructive darkness of selfishness. And Mark has shown that to be a very, very unselfish human being, because at the time, I knew his son really well. When we used to train in the gym together, we used to take his son into the gym with us. So what happened was a tragedy, but his son's spirit is living on and continually living on, because he could have just turned around and said, right, I don't want to do this no more. And he didn't. He carried on, and he's keeping on, he's spreading out the good message to try and end this nonsense. So, you know, I mean, God bless you.
Yeah,
and
man.
like, I remember when it came out that he had the OBE, he sent me a message. He sent me the message, I got the OBE. And I straight away, I said to him, you know what, Mark, you don't need validation from the palace.
Certainly.
Because you got the validation from anyone who remotely knows him. But the fact that he's got it and it can help him to reach more kids,
absolutely.
Fantastic.
It is great that you've got the recognition, and hopefully it will give you another platform.
That's what it's all about for me, the platform to impact other lives.
Absolutely. Well, most will remember you as well for being a fantastic boxer, fighting at light heavy and cruiserweight.
I've done my best with what I had.
There's been lots of questions coming in, you'll be pleased to know. The first one is from your old weight division, light heavy. Jack says, who does Mark think will have more successful career, Buatsi or Yarde? Do you follow both of them?
I follow both of them. I love Yarde, I love Buatsi. I actually think whoever lives the lifestyle, lives that life, is going to end up having the better career, longevity. And for me, both fighters tick that box. Buatsi lives that lifestyle, Yarde does. So we can look forward to a great future in that division for British fighters in terms of Yarde and Buatsi.
It's such a hard one to call, isn't it? Because they are both extremely talented.
Very good.
It is, you know what? Just because you're closer to one than the other, I'm close to both guys. End of the day, it's like, if we got two major talents, let them both grow, and then once they've grown to a certain level, then you meet.
Make it a big
massive fight.
Do not make it a fight now.
Right, don't make it a fight now. Make it when both guys are grown.
No.
Yarde potentially this year could challenge for a world title. And if he challenges, depending on who he fights, he could win it. Then Buatsi's doing really well as well. So let both of these guys grow. That's the thing, let it grow.
Yeah, this is a business.
But Buatsi, he's going at the rate of knots, isn't he? He's making huge strides. Is he catching Yarde up, do you think?
Listen, he's catching anybody up because of the amateur experience that he's had. He's an Olympic bronze medalist. I've always said that he reminds me a lot of Evander Holyfield, but there's a little bit of Andre Ward in him there as well, reminiscent to these guys. I'm not saying he's at their level, he's reminiscent of these guys. If he keeps on growing at the rate that he's doing, listen, that guy's got superstar written on him. Yarde has got superstar written on him. Let two superstars reach at the top. You don't fight down here if you're a superstar, you fight when you're up here.
And what will separate them is mindset. We'll find out what they're really made of when they're pitted against each other as unbeaten fighters, great fighters. We'll find out what will separate two warriors is their mindset.
It'll be fascinating to see, wouldn't it?
Awesome.
Another fighter that I know you know very well, you shared a gym with him for many years, Dillian Whyte.
Yes, Dillian Whyte.
Steve says, how much credit does Dillian Whyte deserve for the level opponent who keeps fighting, especially with the #1 ranking he possesses? What do you think to that?
Nah, just listen, the guy's having a great career. We can never look at Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte reminds you of myself. I had 9 fights as an amateur, turned pro. Yeah?
You're better. I'm joking,
right? Dylan, you'd agree. So we had 9 fights as an amateur, and I went into turning pro. Dylan had a few more fights, but very limited experience as a boxer before turning pro. Now, when you start in that way, you don't have what a lot of the other guys. Right? No, I didn't. My little brother was a kickboxer. So you have to give him all the credit.
He's been patient,
because
isn't
he's still going through that growing learning process where a lot of fighters have matured as amateurs and are just coming into the pro game to understand the pro game. But he's still understanding the fight game in general when he's training and fighting.
I suppose I just said it there. Dillian, he seems to have been quite patient, doesn't he? Is now his time, do you think?
Well, for him, for a world title shot, you got to think, which fighter? Anthony Joshua didn't go through the hard, rigged fighters that he had to go to get a world title shot. Tyson Fury didn't have to go through the hard riggers to get a world title shot. Yeah. Dillian Whyte has beaten 2 former world champions and had a classic again with Derek Chisora. What more does he have to do?
He has improved, hasn't he?
He's improved.
Both in and out the ring, like he's matured as well.
Maturing in every fight.
What I know is that he's a student of the game, whereas he watches a lot of boxing. So he watches a lot of boxing, and you try nick bits here and that. You try it in the gym. Then you got somebody like Mark Tibbs, who comes from a great lineage because of his old man.
That's right.
And they try to improve things and fine-tune things, and he's still learning, but he's learning at such a rate now. Before, remember when Dillian used to jab before? He'd snatch it, throw his jab and throw it back. Now he leaves it out a little bit longer, and like he creates distance with the arms. I'm really impressed with Dillian Whyte.
I'm impressed with his mindset. Because I remember when I answered him, I sent him a message and said, this ain't about no brawl. Don't get it twisted. This is who's the smart fighter. And Dillian demonstrated to me maturity, that he is maturing as a professional, patient, and he's able to box better and know how to win fights. Because that's what being a professional is about. Let me learn what to do to win this fight. It's not about your feelings. I'm going to go in there and bash him up.
Indeed. A boxer, a fighter that we seem to be talking about every week, Amir Khan. It does look likely that this fight will be announced this week. Watch the space. Sufyan says, is the criticism Khan is getting for fighting Crawford instead of Brook justified or ridiculous?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say I love the way Spencer handled Khan when he was in that interview with him, and I don't think he was being harsh. I think he was being real, and the public really appreciated Spencer for being real with him like that. It's probably Khan fans that didn't appreciate his realness.
I'm getting death threats and everything, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate. So really, when it comes to Khan fighting Brook, from a fan's point of view, I want to see that fight really badly. From a business point of view, Khan understands that my career is coming to an end. I need to collect as much P as I can. So we have to understand him as a professional fighter, what he's trying to achieve. And his vision and his focus is really what's important at this stage of his career.
What do you reckon, Spencer? Is the criticism justified or ridiculous?
No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because just like before, he was arguing and saying, well, why isn't Amir Khan fighting Kell Brook? And he goes in and fights Canelo, who at the time, number one or number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world. So we can't really, if he fought a lesser opponent, then what's he done here? We're saying fight Kell Brook. You heard when I put it on Amir Khan in here. I said, listen, if you don't, the British public never want to forgive you. Listen, the British public may not, but you know what? The world public, boxing fans will forgive you because you're taking on the number 1 or number 2 best pound for pound. Terence Crawford is ridiculously talented. It's ridiculously talented. And you're saying, right, I'm going to go fight you because, you know what, I'm trying to do this thing about legacy. Maybe somewhere in Amir Khan's mind, he's saying, you know what, I don't want to give Kell Brook a payday, number 1. And number 2, if I lose to Kell Brook, I can't walk the streets of Great Britain and hold my head up. Right?
And I certainly can't fight Crawford again.
Exactly. So take this opportunity. And if he was to come on cropper against Terence Crawford, the Kell Brook fight's still going to be there.
Still going to be there.
Well,
so
like
it's a good strategic move.
Watch this space. Hopefully some calm news at the end of the week. A fight that is announced and is happening at the end of February is, of course, Degale at Eubank Jr.
Literally.
Is Degale's time at the top almost over, or does he have enough left to beat Eubank Jr.?
Wow.
Yes, Mark. What do you think, Mark?
In a word, no.
Oh.
When I saw Degale, and I'm just going to keep it real, he could be right next to me right now, and I'll say the same thing. When I saw you, you just look drawn. You just look like you're not living the life. It's just me as a ex-professional champion looking at him, and I think he's at his last days. I think and Eubank's picked this fight at the right time. So if Eubank's improving and he's learnt from the Groves fight and he goes in with Degale and works hard, puts him under pressure, he'll break him down.
Spence?
Well, don't involve me. I mean, I know both guys. I'm cool with both of them. No, I have to say this. I have to be real. I'm going to be real. As Mark
Anyone would think we asked him for his opinion on this show.
Yeah, I know. Right, I'm just going to be... I like that one. No, we just have to be real. There is... somebody who's in the recline of his career now in James Degale. And we could possibly argue and say James Degale hasn't shown us a good performance since beating beating Jarrell for the world title. You could argue and say that's the last time that you showed us anything. Porky Medina wasn't a very good performance. We go through the fights that he's had since then. The Truax fight, the first and second fight, I could see Chris Eubank Jr. giving you a nightmare if he used to stick it on you. But if anyhow you can bring back the past James Degale when you put in those performances, then you could win this fight because technically you are supremely more gifted than Eubank Jr. But Eubank Jr. is more gifted as an athlete than you are. And if Eubank Jr. puts those punch combinations on you, then I don't see what's going to happen. I can't see it. But it's going to be a great fight because their beef has been a long rivalry, and finally now it's going to happen.
Certainly is. Final one, this from Nick. This has got lots of people talking. He says, Floyd's fight in Japan was the most embarrassing sporting moment ever. Is he letting money tarnish his reputation?
Never that. You can't tarnish Mayweather's reputation. Never. Look, Ali done stuff like that. He went and had a fight with a wrestler.
Against Anoki.
So come on now. It's levels. See, we're not at that level that we can actually do that and get away with it. But Mayweather is.
Do you think he should be doing it?
Well, he's not having a career in it, is he?
He got paid $9 million, right?
Look what he made. He done a deal. He had one fight. He made $9 million. Who's not going to take that deal and make $9 million and bang someone out in a round? You're not going to tarnish your reputation by doing that.
When you put it like that, Mark.
Real.
I'm just saying, regardless of how we feel about Floyd Mayweather or the outside of the ring, on the inside of the ring, the man's been completely professional. And right now, his career as a professional boxer is actually finished. So he said, okay, then, well, if I can make a gimmick fight with the likes of the notorious one, Conor McGregor, and make $300 million. If I can pick up to fighting a guy who weighs less than me, who's never boxed before, let me pick that cash up. No, we can't argue. Listen, no one can argue about it. Anyone really arguing and say, oh no, he's this and that, you're actually hating on the guy. Because I guarantee you, if somebody as loved as Anthony Joshua to do something like this, I guarantee you nobody would complain about it. Right?
It's money in the bank.
It's money in the bank, and that's how I'm seeing it.
Money talks, and
that's how it goes. And this is Money Mayweather's show.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. Well, that is it for this week. You'll be joining us on the podcast a little later on.
Can't wait.
Spence, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, you can download the podcast on iTunes a little later on. See you next week.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.